Good evening. Welcome to my new art table. It took a year to get a setup like this. It might be the best setup in my life because I've had art tables before, but now we have the internet, and that helps a lot. My goodness. And I have an old gold, so that's going to help. Okay, so if you've been watching my videos, this piece of art was entirely created in my car. So I've drawn every single object in the car and filmed it. So I had no desire to work on it when I wasn't filming, because I wanted to show on camera at least some of my talents. Okay, so what's going on here? Well, it's a piece of paper. There's writing on the back from 2005 that I can't show because, well, there's people's names on it. So they don't want their name in my video. Alright, so it is kind of odd to try and draw with a camera right in front of me, but it's better than trying to draw in the car. Okay. So art can't be rushed. Sorry. Not the way I do it. Not if you want it to be good. Well, art's like music. There's fast pieces and slow pieces. Different tempos. So I really wanted to break out the red. So there's that. This is so much better than doing it in the car. Okay. It was really hard to draw or paint while holding the camera. Okay, you got your brush. Now I can really show you guys what I'm doing. So I've talked about the paint can before because it has these ridges on it, on the inside of a regular can. And it helps to keep your brush clean by wiping off the excess paint on the ridges. And I always keep a moist brush unless I'm doing dry brush. Now this table I've never really painted on before, so it needs to be messed up a little, in other words. The girl is watching Lord of the Rings, but because of YouTube rules, we can't have the sound on to that. And I don't want her to miss watching her movie. Well, she's watching it, but she has the sound muted so I can make this video. That's really nice of her. So, I've talked about this paper before. It's standard paper and doesn't take a lot of water, so kind of have to do it in layers until you build up the paint. Otherwise it'll warp. And this is where I did the wet and wet technique, and it dries flat. It didn't buckle. You just have to be patient and let it dry. So this paper isn't really good for wet and wet. Wet on wet. So here's the clown. This is fun. I can actually function like a human being here. I've got this clown, so we'll give him some red hair. Alright. And a red nose. Okay. And that's how that looks like. What's nice about painting and drawing in here is it's a controlled light situation. So I'm always going to get good quality lighting here. Consistent. Well, let's see. I'll just put some red there. It's pretty thick. That's the thickest paint I've put on this whole piece so far. Okay. Let's see. Does he need a red bow tie? Yeah, he does. Okay. So I always say there's no such thing as a mistake. If it bleeds a little bit, I can always touch it up with white paint. Okay. So what's the next step? So there are people from my past, if they saw this, they would pay at least $5 for it, or 10 or 20. I have many clients from the past who want some more David Lovins art. So acrylic is basically a plastic kind of paint. So putting layers and layers of paint on this page kind of gives it a protective layer. Okay. So there's another splotch of red. And the way I make art has a relationship with architecture. I'm literally building in thin layers and constructing a drawing. Okay. So that's fun. Hey man. Okay, Davok has spoken. Now what I like to do as an artist, see this paint can. Normally I take the wrapping off the can and paint the can, but I kind of like this label, and I haven't painted a label in years, so it's time to do that. Then each time I paint, I add on some more color to this can. So I let that dry. What happened to my D&D figures? Hold on. Did I bring them in? Maybe I didn't even bring them in. They might be in the car. Yeah, that's probably where they are. That would be sad if I lost those. 2 figures cost $4 or $5. Okay, now what's the next step? See, it's just hard to draw in this situation. But I've got this green dice. Let's roll. Okay, a 1. Okay, so let's try something different on this page. I've never used a black pen on this page yet. Okay, so I'm going to draw a die. with pen. This is pretty fun. It's a great way to make art. Got 3 pips there. And 5 there. I do have lots of D&D dice, so those will be fun to draw. Okay, there's a die. Good. And there's no real shadow, but I'll put some shadow in there anyway, because that's what I want to do. Okay. Then what I want to do is I'll write March 14th. And I'll put Friday. Okay. So each time I work on this drawing, a little more happens. Now, one thing amateurs do is they put everything within the page, but I learned a lesson many years ago, and the lesson is to have things go off the page. So there's a ball there. Put a little shadow there, and I'll put a little tone. Okay. I'm going to wind up this video soon so the girl can watch The Return of the King. It's available as an audiobook and gives you a lot more than the movie ever can. But the movies are great because they help to visualize what's in the book. So they really go together. Let's see. Let's just say that this jar of paint is the red one. Okay. And there's a tradition of artists drawing their art materials, and it goes back to Albrecht Dürer. You can look him up on Wikipedia if you don't know who he was. He was a German artist, very talented. He's most known for his drawing of a rabbit, and he's the guy that did the praying hands drawing. Okay, so there's a pretty well-known guy. So this is a green dice, a green die. So I'm going to put red all around it. So then when I put in the green, it'll contrast with the red. Yeah, baby. It's always fun to see the brush being dipped into paint. Okay. So like I said, there's 100 different ways to make a piece of art. And this is just the way I'm doing it today. Tomorrow might be different. Well, I pretty much know what I'm doing with my artwork and what I want to achieve. My problem as an artist is actually finishing anything. So we're gonna work on this drawing until it's done, or until I want to move on to something else. He's got red eyebrows. Okay. Put a little bit more paint there. There's a evil clown face in the camera. So put some red lips there. A little bit more tone on the bowl. And I think we can call it a day for this drawing. As you can see, there's 5 or 6 areas that are drying. You don't want to smear it with your fingers or anything, or screw it up while it's still wet. So this is when, go like this. Oops, see, that's why I have pie tins. See, the paint is down there, and the back of the page didn't get affected by the paint in there. See? I know what I'm doing. Okay. Now, I get to do this. And thank you for watching my video. Join me on Patreon as a free member. I have lots of free content there if you want to read or see pictures or see what I'm doing. Or you can be a paid member for $1, $3, or $5 a month at this point. So that's patreon.com/David Lovins. I'm trying to build up my Instagram page, so that's instagram.com/David Lovins. I'm raising funds. I have lots of things I need to raise money for. PayPal.me/David Lovins. Venmo, David-Lovins-2. CashApp, $Bobby11. For more adventurous art than I can put on YouTube, check out my Deviant Art page, deviantart.com/Bobby. And it's really fun making art with you guys, or for you guys. And here's Davok. I'm Davok. Alright, I hate that voice. It's like the Batman voice. So, one last thing. Here's the Frog King. Hello, I'm the Frog King. Alright. Thanks for watching the video. Bye-bye.